Hello friends, welcome to a little hobby hang. I apologize that I was not able to do my normal wiry forging this past Sunday. It totally slipped my mind and I had some plans, but we're going to get some hobby in today. I should hopefully make up for it. Let's see. Today, as obviously the title suggests, we're going to be painting up some Marvel Crisis Protocol. Been having an absolute blast with this game, to be honest with you. And while I'm waiting for, chats and stuff to pile in, let me pop out the chat so I can see it. Hey, Liam, what's up? Is it Nya? How to pronounce that? Hey, welcome, welcome. Yeah, I've been having a great time with this game recently. I got into it before, but quickly found out I didn't super care for the gaming community. That the closest store, the one that I was a part of, it wasn't a good match for me. And so I got out of it, and then sure enough, my buddy Jeremy, who I talk about quite a bit on the channel, he's one of my main gaming buddies, he asked me if I was had any interest in the game. I was like, well, I really did enjoy it, but it just didn't enjoy the people I was gaming with. And after a good chat, we decided to jump in together. I'm taking the Spider-Man villains and eventually the X-Men, and he is a massive comic book nerd, so he's just kind of taken everything else. I think he's going to own everything eventually because they hit him right where it hurts, which is the nostalgia. So that's funny. But yeah, so I just have a few factions that I actually really enjoy. Okay, I like Spider-Man villains. I like the X-Men. I'm excited to paint up Gambit. That kind of stuff. So I don't nearly have as much of a broad appreciation for Marvel as an enterprise as others do. I think I stopped watching the movies at like Civil War. I haven't seen a superhero movie in like years. Let's see. Don't worry, everyone gets it wrong. Oh, sorry. Let's see. Is it primed gray? Yeah, I used a Vallejo brush on primer, so it is primed. It just doesn't look like it. We had a couple cooler days randomly, and I was hoping for some more sun, so I just went ahead and used my brush on stuff. Okay, and so just putting on a nice corn red base layer here for our nice dark red. And so what is everyone else painting on? I see in the chat we got some Stormcast being painted. Always good. I was actually debating on painting more of those. I was like, well, the person I play against the most is Jeremy, and this is what we're excited about, so I might as well just paint what we're excited about. Plus, we're going to be gaming tomorrow. Obviously, I won't have everything painted, but we're still learning, so we don't mind playing with unpainted models whilst we are learning. Just looking at every angle, trying to make sure I got him. And that looks pretty good. Cool, we'll let him dry for a sec. Okay. Just wanted to spice it up with some Space Marines. Nice. I love it. I love the Silver Age Marvel comics, especially X-Men. Yeah, I mean, that's, and I was never much of a comic person. I only ever watched the cartoons. That's drying. Let me see. I think I have a pad of paper here. Do something like that to see if we can get the detail. Come on, the camera. There we go. Oh, it kind of fades in and out. But anyway, there's my lizard guy. Now I'm trying a new thing where I try to do more of a comic book style, so you can see like the fat black lines on him and everything. It didn't turn out quite the way I expected, but you know, I'm new to the style, so I'm trying. And then here's my Venom. Much of the same. There's a comic book panel where they basically used blue to highlight him because, of course, he's all in black, and so I did the same thing and then took basically black contrast paint and like underprimed him to kind of make the etchings and that kind of stuff. If you can't really quite catch it on camera, but if you look real close, you can see all of the dark lines, the shadows are actually like etched in. So yeah, and then we'll get our boy Carnage all painted up, and I'm excited to game with him for sure because this dude's beast mode. Like, I played my first well, it wasn't my first game of Marvel Crisis Protocol ever, but it was like the first game since I've come back around to it the other day, and I was astounded by, here's my Green Goblin, I was astounded by how good Venom is. Like, he's just a baller. Let's see, what do I need to do for you? We need to outline your clothes and your skin. So we start real dark and we build up from there because we're doing, like I said, the comic book layering where you don't blend colors, you just do like cell shading almost. And so I need my darkest green. Good old Caliban. Which character is your favorite? I'm fond of Gambit. Gambit was always one of my faves. Favorites. Juggernaut. If I had to pick a bad guy, like I just now realized they have a Juggernaut character in this game, and I'm like, why the hell did I start with X-Men? And I don't even know why he's my fave. I just like him. That's all. That guy, you know. Oh, bud, thank you so much, man. Been a member for 6 months. Keep up the great work. I super appreciate it. Feeling good lately, to be honest with you. Feeling real good. I got videos. So basically, when I went full-time last year... Oh my god, it's been so long. I was really looking forward to doing a lot more videos and painting and stuff, and then so we moved back to be near family, and they've had health crises and all these things, and it's just been a long year. Kind of hit a rough point when I was like, man, I don't feel like I'm living the life that I went full-time to do, and now I feel like I am. I got videos scheduled out through Monday. I'm going to get ahead of the schedule so I can hopefully have at least something every day. I'm excited about the future. Cool. So that's our shadow color, not how dark his skin is actually going to be. It's actually going to be closer to Lizard's skin, that kind of highlighter, the lighter green with that sucker. You watched the Juggernaut cartoon dub? No, I have not. Oh, wait. The dub. I don't think I understand. I always loved Spider-Man, the old cartoon with the electric guitar intro. Oh, that's X-Men. Oh, man. Let's see. Green Goblin cartoon. Trying to get a sense of his colors. Yeah, purple outfit. Okay, yeah, there's a good one. Cool. Sweet. Yeah, might as well throw on some other colors while we're waiting on Carnage to dry. Let's see what else we got. Where is my Nagarathi Knight? There we go. I'm the Juggernaut. Yes, I'm very excited. So we were both of us took a team. He took Spider-Man. So we had like Spider-Gwen and Rob Morales and Peter Parker and all these kinds of things. I had pretty much everybody here. I had Mysterio and Kraven, and Carnage I couldn't fit at the points level we were playing. I'm sorry, the threat level we were playing. That's what they call it in MCP. And it came down to a single die roll. That's how tight the game was. It was one of those things where he had Rob Morales do like some super BS Spider-Man stuff of like webbing a guy, slinging across the battlefield to kick him, and then when I dropped an objective, he had Morales pick him up and zoom him away, and I was like, oh crap, okay, we could do this. All I have to do is hurt, the Rob Morales Spider-Man enough to keep calling Miles. I keep calling him Rob because I knew a guy named Rob Morales in high school. Get Miles to drop the objective he was holding, and I just could not do it. For the life of me. Okay, Doug. Top superheroes and villains. Oh, that I like? Well, okay, so keep this in mind. I have not seen most of the Disney things, so I'll give you answers, but they do largely come from... Oh, wait, is he wearing shorts? Well, looks like he is. All right. Hold on, let me pull up the Marvel Crisis Protocol. Oh, sure enough. Didn't even know he was wearing shorts. Yeah, so keep in mind that when I say things that I like, it's based on comic books and stuff like that. Wolverine is definitely one of them. I like, because of the amnesia that he has, I like the situations that they can put him in. I haven't liked all of the various backstories that they gave him. Where like he just one day is like, I fought in World War I, and the next day he's like, I'm a ninja now. It's a little bit of a stretch, but I love the writing space that allows storyboard writers and stuff like that to really explore with him. I think it's cool. Green Goblin wears purple Speedos. Not the Crisis Protocol version. They weren't brave enough. They were not brave enough. They couldn't handle it. I'm pretty sure that was actually part of the original design, and they were like, nope, cover it up. The world's not ready for that much. Goblin. Heyo. Wargamer Willie, thank you so much, buddy. PSA, always toss a coin to your YouTuber. Love hanging out with the crew. Hope everyone is well and safe. Thank you so much. Wargamer Willie, when do you believe we will see a Maxodon lore video? Oh yeah, Maxodons for Legacy of Atmos. We are finishing up some of the design space for them now, but the lore video should be pretty soon, I would imagine. How about that? Don't have I can't give you a firm date, but very, very soon. I'll try to get it next week. I just need to triple check a few things with my co-creators / co-conspirators. Not worried about his Pumpkins of Doom. Cool. Here he is. Let's grab those legs. Willie, thank you so much, buddy. That's super kind of you. Cody, thank you so much, buddy. I really do appreciate it. Go ahead and pick a topic, both y'all, if you'd like. I won't count the Maxodon question as the topic you picked simply because I don't have any information for you. But if there's something you would like to talk about, whether it's related to Marvel Crisis Protocol, Age of Sigmar, anything like that, I am a game. Cool. And Doug just took a beating for everyone throwing coins at him. Thanks for helping me out this morning. Doug, never thought I'd have to think about how to communicate with a Doom Bull. You got it, dude. So here's how I'm going to do Carnage, okay? I'm thinking the next layer I do like the cell shading thing with a bright red on top. And then maybe one more red layer on top of that. And then I'm going to go through and do all the black and the white. Because the hardest thing is going to be establishing that red. So I think that's the play. So what is our next good bright red? Maybe Mephiston and then... Honestly, if I was smart, I would have done Slanesh Pink as the base. The best ideas are those we have just a bit too late. Oh, here's what I was looking for. Evil Sun Scarlet. Okay. What are you? Pink Horror, Mephiston Red. Oh god. Man, I have like 4 things in Mephiston Red going. Apparently. Yep, this will do. Okay. Let's see. I do have a tiny question, rules-wise. Community, feel free to help. If a unit, say Dracolines, can re-roll a charge with an ability, can I still try to use a CP to roll a 3rd time if they failed that twice? No, you can't re-roll a re-roll, unfortunately. I wish, man, because my Annihilators, if they could do that, nasty. And so the way that we are doing this is we are just looking at the top down. Any bits of the model that are on the underside, we're going to ignore. And then we're going to come back on this sucker with an oil wash at the end. So it seeps into all the little cracks and crevices and provides that sweet, sweet outlining that we like when it comes to comic book style themes. I did it for Croc scales and it looks awesome. But that'll essentially be our wash. So he'll look a little dumpy till then. That's okay. is just basically deciding where the light is coming from. May have put a bit too much water. Thinned that out a bit too much when I was initially doing this. That's okay. Actually, we'll go a little bit harder on the chest. There we go. Just because his chest is like, it's a little awkward to show on camera, but his chest is kind of leaning upward just a smidge, so I want to make sure I get plenty of it, but nothing like, none of his neck, nothing like that. I don't think you can re-roll. Oh, Lance, I'm so sorry. I missed that. When I pop out the chat, it doesn't show me everything in order. So I'm so sorry, buddy. Lance, thank you so much for throwing a coin in the tip jar. Any Marvel character you have a crush on? Carnage is up there. Carnage is up there because I have a true crime obsession. I just love it. Man, yeah. So yeah, it's just the idea of like, in a world where symbiotes exist, and then some writer got super high, hit the bong hard, and was like, bro, what if it was on a serial killer? And then everyone was like, my God, this man has a point. Dope explanation. Thank you for the breakdown. Oh yeah. So yeah, I'm sucker for all things true crime, as well as I like Spider-Man's villains are just, to me, some of the best. However, just to ensure that no one mistakes me for being an actual fan of anything, I haven't actually seen any of the new Spider-Man movies with Tom Holland. I think the only exception is I did see Civil War, where he made his little cameo. Sorry if that's a 15-year-old spoiler for anybody. So we're just going through. We're not picking up, not covering all the same space that we did before, but we're just picking up just the higher edges. Just kind of lightly letting the brush just kind of flow over everything. Well, everything upward, that is. Can't be. Don't want to paint away our shadows quite all the way. And I'll get this leg because it's all outstretched. Nice. So now I can see, I don't know how well it shows up on camera, but I can see the 3 distinct tones. This guy's a beaut. So we need to let this dry completely, and then we'll grab a hyper detail brush. And I'm not sure how much fun it'll look on camera, but I'm gonna go through and basically trace the little black lines in the veins that make Carnage what he looks like, basically. And then we'll go back with an oil wash at the end, and that'll pretty much seal him in. Oh, I've been waiting for this episode. Oh, for painting up MCP. It's funny. Amanda, have you read Devouring Fog's narrative campaign rules from White Dwarf 470, December of 21? Seems like a fun one to play with Smaller's gaming group. I have not. Devouring Fogs. Why does that not sound familiar? Let me see. Let me pull up Carnage's image here. Carnage. Definitely auto-corrected to cabbage. Cool. Okay, yep, it's just tracing the little weapons. Now for this, I'm actually going to use this War Colors paint called Antithesis Black. It's basically their version of Contrast, but I like it because it is exceptionally fluidy. So like just grabbing a long edge brush and just literally drawing with it is super simple. Okay. You're missing out then. The latest movie was real great. Awesome. Yeah, I'll check it out. Eventually I will. You know, once I got to Civil War, I realized, man, it's just too much to keep up with the Marvel franchise. So I was just like, ugh, I'm done. For now. I'll come back into it. But the more movies they release where you have to have seen previous movies in their series to be able to understand what's going on, it just feels very alienating to me, where it's like, I don't want to watch all these movies about these heroes I don't care about. I want to just stick to like Thor or something. Ooh, MCP stuff. Obligatory ask. Gotten to King in Black yet? Who's King in Black? Speaking of, I was actually looking at the online store for Marvel Crisis Protocol, and there are so many heroes that I'm like, I don't know what the heck you are supposed to be from, dude. A little bit of a sloppy move there. That's okay. We can clean that up with red as needed. He's got so many veins. Let's see. Whoever suggested King in Black never seen this, and now I'm very excited to read it. It's the best Venom symbiote story ever. Oh. Nice. Okay, wait. The homie Kenobi. First of all, great name. Centers around Dawnbringer Crusades or adjacent army, leaving Misthaven to start a new city. Figured that would be up your alley. Oh, yeah! I will. Let me go see if I can find that one. 470. I'll keep an eye out. But thank you. Hello, I wanted to ask you about the Dweghelm army you have. Who you want to be your general, and second question, is there even a small possibility you would play an online tournament in the Discord of Conquest? Let me tackle those one at a time here. I do plan on playing in the Conquest tournament online. My buddy Wiley helped me come up with a list. It's going to be a meme list that is just me taking as many Hellbringer Drakes as possible. So to answer your question, your first question about who my general is, it's going to be a Tempered Sorcerer so I can get them. But it's my favorite unit, and I'll be honest, I'm not terribly great at Conquest, like as a game system. And so, you know, I asked him, like, hey, can you help me with a list? And that was the meme list he came up with, and I'm going to do it, and I'm going to have a great time. If you guys haven't heard me talk about it, if you look up Conquest Hellbringer Drake, you will see one of my favorite models ever invented. If you're mostly here for the Age of Sigmar stuff, imagine a magma droth that they loaded 2 colossal magma cannons on each side of, and there's a dwarf kind of like sitting on each side like a cockpit almost. And then there's one dwarf leader who's like basically pointing on, he's a third guy who's on top pointing at the enemies being like, move forward and let me hit them with my sword, kind of a thing. It's that energy. Let's see. Okay. Cody Griffin, Legacy of Atmos. Haven't looked at the rules. In layman's terms, what game system is it comparable to? Game system is it comparable to? Let me think about that one. I have to think about some good examples. But, you know, in terms of like the most basic functions, it's a standard skirmish game in that you activate a model, you get 2 actions, that kind of thing. There are magic cards that you can play from your hand, like special abilities and stuff like that. Which I can't think of another game that I have played that does quite the same thing we do with that. And honestly, what sets it apart more so than like the format, you know, because like I said, it's a basic skirmish game, is the way that narrative objectives function. So you and your opponent have asymmetrical objectives, and they're very thematically based. So like the armies of Atmos will be able to establish a war camp. That's kind of their thing, and so you're out hunting supplies for that. And the Tellus commune's going to use the fear and terrain to drive you out of the forest, kind of a thing. So it has a lot less to do with, you know, radical redesigning of games. You've never seen a game like this. You know, I'm not going to make ridiculous claims like that like every other promoter does, and they're always wrong. But I like the way it tells a story on the table. I got most of him done. Few little spots here around the neck. So now we're going to take this, we're going to thin this black way out. Very excited to play Legacy. Well, I'm so happy. We actually just released, it's a good time to join up because we just released a new set of beta rules for some of our playtesters, so. Okay, we'll just kind of tint some of the edges of these weapons here. Because again, he's forming them from himself like a Carnage do. So he doesn't look like much now because he hasn't had really any shading. That's why he seems kind of flat. But let's fix that, shall we? Oh no, sounds good. Video frozen? Oh, it sure is. Why are you doing this to me? Wiki wiki. Huh. It's weird. It's frozen on my end too. Like my stream software doesn't seem to want to work. Okay, that camera's working. Well, guess we're at the downward cam right now. That's so weird. Nothing bumped into it at all. Yeah. Okay. Weird. Okay, I apologize, everybody. Let me see. Try one more time to get this to work. It's just strange because if something had happened, like, and it became unplugged at some point, my computer would make a sound and I have my headphones on, so I would be able to hear like do-do-do as, like, you know, the device was quote unquote removed or whatever. Anyway, thank you for saying something. This frickin' guy. Stream couldn't contain the power you were working with. Okay, sorry guys, I missed some of the comments here, so let me review here. Spezia, hey Doug, what prompted the Slaves to Darkness sale? Well, for one, wanted some cash money, just to throw in the savings account, that kind of thing. Two, man, I'm just not having fun with them. Like, it's just they stopped being what I wanted them to be, and that is totally fine. Like, if you don't know what I'm talking about, so they used to let's see. So they used to be able to work in, just about any army. Chaos army, rather. And then you could just mark their keywords and they would get full allegiance abilities. Well, they kind of took that away, which is fine from a game balance perspective. I'm actually like super okay with that. But it's just, it wasn't what I fell in love with, you know? And that's fine. Needs a bit more. Let's try that. Is that Carnage? Yes. So anyway, yeah, that was the thing with the Slaves to Darkness. I was just looking to clear some room and start again with something else. For a Chaos army, I do actually still have the Tzeentch stuff, because me and Jack for Holy Havoc next year are doing, let me just, yeah, perfect. For what it's worth, I don't think the stream could have handled this. I am very excited about this guy. What model is that? This is Carnage from Marvel Crisis Protocol. He is a bad man for Spider-Man, if you are not in the know with your superheroes and or their respective villains. Got to go back, make sure it's not pooling up anywhere that it ought not to be. Make sure it is pooling in places where we do want it to be. The Cracker Jack was cool too? Yeah. So now I'll go over here to my pure black, and we're just going to start working in some darkness into the recesses. Because if you look at comic books, a lot of them have quite a bit of darkness. So what I'm doing is I did the whole thing with a oil wash of like a black and some paint thinner, and I'm going back now, just kind of adding darkness to the underside of him, which I think turned out pretty well. Mm-hmm. Let's see. I thoroughly love the Slaves to Darkness model line. The heroes, the warriors, the knights, and the war shrine looks wicked. Yeah, they're cool things, man. That's the thing, is I liked the utility more than the army. How about that? So I liked. There we go. Let's just get one last shot so I can clean my brush. Oh yeah. Carnage is not quite done, but pretty close. So after this, I'll do a oh, what's the word? I'll seal it. That's what I was trying to think of. And then I can paint over the oil wash, and yeah, and then I will go and pick out the eyes because I want them to really pop. So I'll put a pure white instead of like a ivory, which is what I did before, just as a base color. And then he will be just about ready. So I think he is going to look awesome. I'm very excited for him. But I still have about 23 minutes, so let's get to painting this guy. Oh my god, it's a green goblin. Okay. Okay, we have got... Actually, I want a finer brush than that. Let's go with this guy. Do fine. I got so many brushes, I need to downsize a little bit. You guys have that problem too? Oopa. Almost lost it all. It's all good. We're good. Everything's fine. We're fine. Adam, I'm sorry, I missed your question earlier. Is Legacy of Atmos the game that you are developing? I'm helping develop it, yes. I'm one of 3. I kind of wanted to start getting myself out there in terms of the game designer circle, and so yeah, they basically hired me to do ads for them when they were initially launching a Kickstarter, and people gave them some great feedback as far as like their price point and how many products they were offering, and so they took it down and were like, okay, we're just going to reevaluate real quick. And I came in and was like, hey, heard you guys were kind of redoing things and wondered if I could offer my services, help out at all. They seemed happy to have me. So been in the background doing a lot of work on maps, and we're going to do a lore contest here pretty soon. And because I control the intellectual property, we can actually offer like, hey, your lore will become canon as a prize, which is a fun thing that I can do for Atmos that I never could for AOS contests. I have about 20 brushes in the tin. I have a whole like pencil box. Let's see. Hector. Hey Doug, it's been a while. How have you been? I've been good. Been real good. Living, laughing, loving. Huge. Okay. So I got a message today from certain someone who might be in the chat. I can't remember if they are, but I lost track of my calendar, and it looks like Animosity, the next one, is actually coming up here pretty soon, and I'm pretty excited about it. I covered it last year if you weren't familiar. By far not my most popular videos, but I had fun doing them. Sometimes that's the only reason that matters. But yeah, so I might be doing those here again pretty soon. Although I got some, I don't know, man. Every time I open stuff up like that, there's just bad actors always sneak in. I got so many complaints because of, well, you didn't tell this story. You didn't do my thing. It's like, well, welcome to YouTube. Everything's disappointment. Let me grab, here we go, moot green. I'm just going to throw a wee bit of the moot green here. We really don't need a lot of it. This is my extreme highlight for the skin. I'm just picking out his cheeks. Parts of his legs. Just a couple muscle bits. He doesn't really, this model does, it's weird. This model, it has a very defined set of arm muscles on one side, but I don't feel like the other side matches it, which is sort of an odd, I guess, design choice. I mean, it's a decision. And he will look weird and splotchy until the shade goes in or the wash goes on, and then you start picking out the actual lines with a black liner brush, which I will do for him. Much more so than Carnage, because Carnage is one of those characters that, like, he's so liquid and kind of like constant in change that I feel like that's probably a good paint job for him. Whereas these other guys, I definitely went through with a black brush and like picked out the lines to give it more of that comic book kind of look. So I'll do that again. F you, Mark. I like kit bashing. I want to make a Green Goblin proxy for my Gloom Spike. It's nice. Yeah, that'd be cool. When we do this, we're just picking out the highest points. I'm not worried about doing everything. Boom. Sweet. Let's take a look and see how Carnage is drying. Seems to be doing good. I am happy with him. He looks sufficiently mean. Got him. We got Venom. We got Lizard. Green Gobbo. It's a party and a half. Oh, it just occurred to me that this is actually part of his shirt. I thought it was part of the satchel bag. Okay. So let's grab a brown. And I will put better pictures of these guys once, probably later tonight, once I'm all done with my errands for the day. And I need the oil paint to dry just a bit before I can take good pictures of it, otherwise it'll just be shiny. Just stick my hand in a bunch of paint, sure did. You know when you like really settle into the perfect painting position, like with your hands, everything, it just feels great, and then you're like, something's moist on the bottom of my wrist. And definitely just jammed my hand into a bunch of paint. Although at least I have yet to drink my paint water. It's one of those things on the True Hobbyist bingo card that I have not yet achieved. I don't know what my paints taste like. Let's see. Let's do his speeder next. Or the glider, I'm rather. Sorry. What I'm going to do is basically paint the glider and the pumpkins, then throw a wash on him. Probably retouch up the gray, but basically I want to keep the gray largely the same when it comes to... I might put just a few different shades of gray in there, but I want the smoke to be largely unchanged. My cat will drink my paint water if I leave it out after a session. I love it. My cat will drink water out of anything except for his frickin' bowl of water. Like, to the point where, like, when, you know, my wife and I, when we step out of the shower, he's like right outside the shower door, like, oh my god, I'm so thirsty. And then he just like gets in there and just starts like guzzling whatever, you know, like when you turn your shower off, like sometimes there's some that'll like trickle into the tub over time. He's like, give me. He acts like we don't feed him or give him water or anything. You're just like, my dude. You're cute, but you're dumb. Okay, let's see. Let's grab some grays. Okay, I think we're going to end up making up our own kind of gray as we go, which I'm cool with. So let's start. Start on the dark side. No, all that paint's kind of gross. I don't want to use that. Okay, here we go. Pick out parts of the pumpkin bombs, mostly the undersides. That's really what we're aiming for with this color. With the smoke, it's a little bit different. I mean, the big plume. We want this to be the main color. It's still wet, we'll go over it with consecutively lighter grays. Doing spider foes. Yes, I am very excited. Me and my buddy Jeremy have been well, we just started playing and I could not be more excited. That's the thing, is there's only a few of the Crisis Protocol ranges that I really want to paint, but I really want to paint them. Oh man. It's Spider Foes and X-Men, like the 90s X-Men specifically. So if you're having trouble seeing what I'm doing, I'm looking from the top down and just picking out parts that I think should be lighter if light was coming down at them. Okay, so we got that. Now, one more time with feeling. I'd love to take them all with my X-Men roster force. It's a great game. Convocation is a cool range too. Hard to play though. Convocation. Who's in the Convocation? I am unfortunately woefully educated in my Crisis Protocol speak. Actually, I might get a better brush. Here we go. That's like my brush for mixing in stuff. And we're just going to work a little bit of color into the top parts of these things. By little, I mean a huge heaping glob on my brush, obviously. That's what I had. We're just picking out the poofiest of the poofiest clouds. It's the magic users, both. Okay, versions of Doctor Strange. How hyped for you for the new X-Men wave? So what's in the new X-Men wave? Because I have enough trouble keeping up with Games Workshop. Never mind other games. I only know about like. Or do you mean the one that has like Gambit and Jean Grey and all that kind of stuff? Because like I'm very excited for those models. Sweet. Actually kind of like the way that looks. Rogue, Gambit, Colossus, Magic. I'm very excited. Like I'm super excited, first of all, to play as Gambit. He's a fave. I remember there was an old cartoon episode that like a bunch of them went skiing for fun. Gambit got knocked out, his hand, like it was an avalanche, his hand got knocked out of his glove, and he basically touched a tree, and they were all like, oh, sweet mother of God, the tree's gonna explode. And I just remember thinking like, oh yeah, forgot that like, it's not just playing cards. You can just like touch stuff and make people explode. I'm like, oh man, that's savage. Gonna take a couple of layers. This is Fire Slayer Orange. I wanted it bright so that when I do the oil wash it'll darken it down a bit. Okay, so now I'm going to take right here, Slanesh Gray. We're going to take a broken up GW brush that I've had since I was a wee lad. That's not true, probably about 2 years. I remember that one. Remember there was a scene, he charged a sentinel's leg and made it explode. I remember thinking this guy is actually dangerous. Yeah. Where it's like, oh man, he's more than just like a ladies' man schmuck. Like, oh, this guy is like a living war machine. Good to know. There we go. I just hit it with a little bit dry brush of what is it, Warpfiend Gray? Slanesh Gray, just to kind of make the purples raise up just a smidge so that when we darken it down, it'll kind of come back in line with where I want it to be. But he is just about done. I'm waiting. So how I'm going to do these guys, not so much Carnage because I think he's done. But how I did the Lizard, I did all the basic colors like this. I did the wash, then I put a matte varnish on, and then I can go back and do some extra highlights if I need to, or do touch-ups, that kind of thing. So that's exactly what I'm going to do. I'm just waiting for the orange here to dry, and then I will do that. In the meantime, actually, I have a fun thing I can do. Let's see. Whilst we are waiting on that, let's just grabbing a little bit of color from the, oh, what is this, warp lightning green contrast paint. Just kind of putting a dash of green into the smoke. I don't want it to be like he's hurling, you know, warp stone at Peter Parker. That might, you know, I don't want to cross the streams too much. Am I going to Adepticon? Sadly, I am not this year. I was planning on it, and if there's any other Midwest events that you guys know of that you want me to attend, please let me know. But just a little bit of a backstory. My wife went full-time with her side hustle this year, and she is a prolific writer of romance novels. And so, you know, it's kind of she's having a convention the same weekend, and it's her first big one, and she was so supportive with me at my first big convention, which was Nova 2019, that I was just like, you know, no, this takes priority, you know, obviously. My wife comes very much first, and I wanted to be there for her like she was there for me, so it was a fluke of scheduling that it worked out like this. But I've been looking for other Midwest events to attend just to I don't know. I feel like I have to make up for it, you know, as if like I know this is a incorrect thought, but I feel like, oh man, I moved to the Midwest. I should be going to all these events and that kind of thing. And it's like, man, there's just a lot going on in the world right now. A lot going on with family, a lot going on with everything. I'm gonna have to go over these pumpkins again, but that's okay. Just get the basic outline of them, and then I can go back. Just sit here for a sec, make sure it's not pulling up too much. But yeah, I mean, no, I am pretty willing to travel, so if you know of something fun in the area, please let me know. By the area, I mean the greater Midwest for the most part. I'm in East Iowa. Just kind of taking up whatever's pooling. Some more shadows. Is anyone doing the there was like I got an ad to see what it was for, but like, was it Gen Con recently? Some advertisement came to me on Facebook, and I was like, oh, I wonder if anyone I know is going to that. Hello, friends. Just finished work in the UK, and so presently surprised by this street. Aw, thank you. Sweet. So that is Goblin mostly done. At least the big parts of them. I'm going to go back and just do basic acrylic painting on all of the sidewalk, you know, whatever they're standing on their bases. But unfortunately, this is going to require a lot of time to dry. It's the only downside to oil washes. I think he turned out pretty cool. He's a little on the dark side, but when he's all done, we'll brighten him up, put in the blocking lines, and he'll look good. So I think we're sitting pretty. Let's see here. Yep, I like the dark tones there. Man, Carnage came out. Let me take a picture. Let me send it to Jeremy. He's probably watching. Anyway, friends. Oh, here we go. Stephen Church, kind of off topic. Do you have any thoughts on non-big yellow cool boys? I got Dominion and want to start building an army out of it. It seems like it really pushes you into a single list. You know, Stephen, let me look into that. I'm going to come up with a few ideas for you because, you know, I have the Auric War Plan book, but I'll be honest. When it comes to the War Scrolls, I very rarely venture out beyond the Bone Splitters section because that's kind of what I own. So that's what I'll be focusing on for a bit, but I'm more than happy to take a look for you and ask around if anyone has come up with something really fun for that. Hey Doug, super stoked for a hobby hangout today. Viridian and the rest of you guys, if you're just joining me, go ahead and start at the beginning of the video because we're going to be hanging out and chatting. I actually have to hop off, unfortunately, so I really do apologize for that. I got a busy day ahead of me of errands and stuff. But you guys enjoy your day. Take care of yourself, mental health and otherwise. And I will see you all very, very soon. All right.